What's up, you guys? So this is gonna be a journal entry. This is gonna be titled Queen's Diary because y'all are about to read a few pages of my book, my diary. And if many of you guys don't know, but today is day one of me officially not being employed. So on yesterday, I decided to make a conscious decision to, leave my job. Like, yeah, for real. A lot had been going on at the job, and then yesterday was just, I was just at that breaking point, right? They began to target me, they began to retaliate, and just all of these different things. And new management had taken over, and our company is about to close down at the end of the year. So I think that they really was just trying to weed people out. And so, you know what? I had already gotten the green light from God to just disconnect myself. And so that's what I did. And so today is day one. I don't woke up. I am currently about to go work out. But last night I had a very emotional night, right? Because sometimes we can hold on to something longer than what God intended for us to hold on to something. And so last night, I was wrestling with some emotions and some feelings, and I just gave it to God. I was like, God, I don't know what this next season of my life is going to look like, but I trust you, right? Because I'm not just some young 20-year-old girl with no family that decides to just quit their job and, like, just out here. Like, I have a family. I have, two daughters. I have a husband. I even have a dog. I lost my son 2 years ago, and, like, God has, one of the things that I'll say is that God has never left me. There was never a time in my life where I expected God to show up and he didn't. Even in the times where I thought I wanted something and he didn't show up, he still showed up for me, right? Because that decision that I was probably about to make in that moment wasn't the best decision for me. And so even with this particular journey right here, of me, trusting God and just following the blueprint and the path that he has laid out before me, I even had to get a word from him, because he had been telling me, like, look, this place is not for you. I had been feeling it all in my body, like the stress. I had become having panic attacks and just so much, right? And so God was like, I have more for you than this place. Like, this place, like, anytime you got a battle in your mind on if you want to go to a place or not, that that's not where you need to be at, right? And so, like, even today when I woke up, the peace of God was upon me. I just spent time in his presence, and I just was like, God, I trust you. I gave him everything that I was worrying about, and he just told me, he was like, daughter, I got you. Like, if I clothe the lilies and they're valuable to me, what more do you think that I won't do for you? You are way more valuable than the lilies in the field, than the wildflowers, than the birds, than my creation. You are my child, right? You are my creation. And a lot of times we look at God, like, especially if we didn't have a relationship with our natural father, if we went through certain issues like rejection or abandonment, or just whatever you may have dealt with your father, broken promises and things like that, you look at God as if he is your natural father, but he is not. He is a good father, and he will never leave his seed. He will never forsake us, and he will never leave us begging for bread, right? And so we just got to trust him even the more, because when you're on a journey and it's just you and God, a lot of people won't understand the things that God is telling you to do, but you just got to do it. You gotta, like, now I gotta put in the work, like, more now for myself than I've ever done for anybody else, right? But guess what? It's gonna be more rewarding. It's gonna be frustrating, but it's gonna be rewarding also. And I want to just say, because I skipped over this part, but I had to get a warning from God, like, to tell me, this season of your life has expired, because I had been praying and praying and praying. I was like, God, when is the time? I don't know what to do. I don't know my next steps. Like, what do you want me to do? What do you have for me, right? Like, I know that you have more for me, but what is it? And he sent the word, right? And he was like, look, the place where you're at, I'm putting you on a different path. These people don't value you. I see you frustrated. Like, I see your tears. I hear your cries. Like, I see everything. I sit high and I look low, right? And so I don't want my child, like, God doesn't want us in a place where we don't feel appreciated, right? Because God has placed so much within a lot of us, and sometimes we can shrink, and sometimes we can even devalue everything that God has placed on us because of the environment that we're in. If you're in a place, right, and this place doesn't care about what's going on, the environment isn't conducive for you to grow and for you to just blossom and be everything that God has called you to be, then you will die in that place sometimes. And God doesn't want us to die. God wants us to live. He wants us to live. He wants us to thrive. He wants us to flourish. He wants us to trust him. He wants to breathe life into us again, because sometimes we do get to that place where we need a second wind, right? And so that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm living again. I'm breathing again. Like, even today, worry tried to consume me, but I was like, you know what, God, I give this worry to you. I give it to you, God, because what more? Like, you created me. You designed me. You know everything that I'm in need of before I even need it. You already see everything. And so if I'm in this thing and I'm locked in with you, then guess what? I have no choice but to win. And so this is my diary entry from today. Like, y'all, I don't know what's next. God has given me a lot of ideas. And even with that, sometimes you could be in a place that, like, really stifles and shuts off your creative flow. I'm a very creative person, right? Like, I shouldn't, man, God gives me many ideas and everything, and I be just so, afraid to move on it and things like that. But not in this season, y'all. I am about to execute. And listen, y'all. I don't know. But I just trust God. Like I said earlier, it's kind of it's new, because like I said, I have a family. I'm like, God, what is next? But I am on this journey with him, and I'm locked in, and that's that. So this is my journal entry for today. Y'all, if y'all are in a place like me, just know that God got you. God told me this morning, this is not the end. This is only the beginning. And like my sis always say, she had started a Rock Bottom Chronicles, and when you hit rock bottom, you have no choice but to land on the rock. You're sure, your solid foundation. And listen, I landed on the rock, y'all. Like, and so it's only up from here. Like, how much lower can you go? And I'm just declaring better over my life, better over your life, better, more doors, more money. Like, even some of the jobs that we work, there's a cap on the finances. Like, I was a waitress, y'all. A waitress. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I got paid good money as a waitress, because most jobs, they get paid $2.13 an hour, and I got paid $8 an hour. But still, as a king's kid, as a kingdom's kid, like, there is so much more, especially when you're endowed with God's gifts. Like, really, and these people did not know who I was. I had stopped for a moment, and I didn't know who I was. And then, like, I was like, nah. I know who I am. I know who God has called me to be. I'm an amazing wife. I am a speaker. I am an author. I have a book published. I have, I'm a mentor. I'm so many other things. I got a podcast. I got so many great things going for me. So why should I allow you to minimize me and make me depreciate myself? Like, nah, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. So thank y'all for listening to me ramble. This is Queen's Diary, and I love you guys, and I'll upload a little later. Love you. Have an amazing Wednesday, and let's win. Period.